we gonna get started. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Uh, I know you have, and I sure have, made errors in judgment in the past. But for one, I'm not suffering the past. While I will admit or acknowledge the times, I certainly wouldn't vote for a woman because it's time. If a woman does win the presidency, I hope it's because she knows what the fuck she's doing. And if she does, so be it. But never will I vote for a woman just because it's time. Now, have you ever heard of the Socratic questioning? That's where you ask yourself or a group of workers questions that challenge their assumptions and force you to explore deeper reasoning. Questions like, what evidence supports your idea? Could there be alternative interpretations? See, you have to explore the potential consequences of your decision. Then you calmly debate and present counter arguments. Now, I know there's some who are thinking about getting my course. Now is a great time to get on this alpha dog team I got. If you're ready and you do get it, you're allowing me to take you on the ride of your entire life. I remember we used to listen to the Temptations, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, the Whispers, the Spinners, and many other groups. We didn't have to listen to a particular cut. We didn't get the album because of a particular record, because the whole album was an aphrodisiac. There was no way you could be down on a young lady and not end up in bed if you was listening to those groups. Who do you guys listen to today who like the Isley Brothers or Smokey Robinson or Barry White? Who do you listen to today that's going to guarantee you and baby end up between them damn sheets? The big thing, or the big difference in the Temptation and the rest of them, is you didn't need to hear anything explicit in their music. You didn't need to hear anything explicit to entice the male or the female into getting in the mood of love. You simply listened and analyzed what was being sung about. It was the sheer soul of their music that connected the souls of whoever listened, black or white. And the benefit of noting this kind of thing is how the development of empathy to situations is enabled and your analytical reasoning grows. People don't analyze things anymore, and they surely don't have much empathy. Most people haven't used mind mapping. But this is a tool to help you visualize ideas and their connections by creating a mental diagram. You simply begin with a central idea and branch out with related subtopics and their details. Then you connect these branches where they overlapped. This will encourage organizing and synthesizing information. Organizing, we know what that is. Synthesizing, that means narrowing it down to the core. I took a survey, and it's hard to pick when it comes to who I listen to for music now. I like John Legend and several of the others that are out today, and I actually was pleasantly surprised when I saw Jaheim's name there. He was a big part of me settling into the role I have now. And I'll admit I need to get fresh with my music. I'll also admit I like some of Robin Thicke too. There was no wrong in this survey, just different eras. Now, I've always been told the longest journey begins with a single step. That first step on the journey, even for a professional stepper like you and me, is often quite scary. There's so much to do and be aware of, it could be a little intimidating. So you got to pose what if questions to explore consequences and possibilities. What if I get a response I wasn't expecting? What if I lose my energy to take this work? See, this is being thorough, and it encourages creative and strategic thinking. You don't automatically do these things. You just don't. You have to learn to do these things. You have to learn to be strategic. It can be scary enough to make you have doubts about, what it is you want to begin. A good thing to remember at this time is what made you decide to make the move. Because when you embark on this journey, if it really is a life altering trip, your stomach should have butterflies and you should be more excited than you've ever been in your life. These feelings at this moment, or those types of moments, enhances your self-awareness and your critical evaluation. You must own everything I've told you if you want to go through the streets and get a rep. Most times at this point, you have no idea where your change will take you. You only believe that it's time to change some aspect of your life. I have been in the change mode for the past few years. There's been a void in my life since I left them damn streets. And it has taken all these years to find something that could replace that excitement. Now, I realized along the way the most important thing I took from the streets was, I have confidence to take on the unknown. If you're about this abba-dabba, your job is to make it possible for the people who deal with you to make the most available in my realm or our realm. I didn't spoil my women, but I certainly rewarded their dedication to me. The thing about me is I was not insecure when I would hear the comments that motherfuckers was making about me buying my bitches cars and different shit. What those motherfuckers didn't know, and what I did know, was that hoe paid me a car note and insurance every single day. And I paid the car note once a month. Now, 2 and 2 is 4. Who's winning in that scenario? I had bitches in their own apartments. That made me not have to pay over 3 G's every month for a trick pad for the hoe. Who won in that scenario? See, the hoe was with me for at least a year before I even thought about buying her a car. And I didn't buy it for another few months after thinking about it. So in reality, the broad has paid me for 15 or more brand new cars before I bought her one. Now, recently, I have been confronted with personal decisions that had me in a pickle. And you won't believe who came to my rescue. My precious daughter made me realize a decision had to be made. Now, I have not had a job in a few years. And maybe a little over a year ago, no, maybe a little over a few years ago, because I've been, with this SWU. But what I'm saying is some time ago, I put in an application to supervise a group of cabinet makers. At the time, I really wanted that job or a job. And I thought this would be right up my alley because it, it was a supervisor's job at a cabinet maker company, and I was pretty good with wood. Now I am very good with my hands and hand tools, which is all you would use to make these fucking cabinets. So I went to the interview, presented my resume, and was told they would contact me. Needless to say, that was discouraging. Over 18 months had passed, and I had completely forgot about it. I had told myself, fuck it. The other day I went out to get the mail. Not the other day, but one day I went out to get the mail, and there was a letter in there for me from that company. I wondered what it was as I opened it and read the letter. I was shocked. This company had misplaced my application and had been looking for me for over 11 months. They had moved, and so had I. And in the process of relocating, they found several applications that had fallen through the cracks of business, and mine was one of them. This company apologized profusely and offered me 7 racks more than I applied for. I called and spoke with the personnel. They wooed me. I prepared to go to be re-interviewed. And on the way, something came over me. This is what I'm saying. You have to be in tune with yourself. Here I am trying my best to get into a different arena than I had started. I had started out in them streets. I wanted to do something, making money that wasn't about the streets. And SW was just getting off the ground. Now, I realized how important inspiring youth is for me, which is why speaking to young people about life is so important. But it wasn't paying me anywhere near what I would make at this company. But I loved it. I debated the idea for a few minutes while heading to the interview, and my phone rang. It was my daughter. It was my little girl, who was nowhere near little anymore, but I still see her as my little girl. She wanted me to bring her something when I returned from the interview. But she heard something in my voice. Daddy, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong, baby. Daddy just thinking. That's how I responded to her. She said, Dad, I can hear it in your voice. What is it? She asked again. I said, honey, I just have to make a decision about that job offer I got a while back. You don't want it? She asked. I want it, but I want to do what I have been doing lately, but it doesn't pay the bills. But Dad, you told me money isn't what it's always about. You said your passion and heart is where you should place all your concern and efforts. I've seen you when you're happy, and I've seen you when you're sad. I think you should keep doing what you started, because whenever I see you doing that, I can see it makes you the happiest. Me and Faye was talking about that when you left. Keep on doing what you were doing, Dad. I listened to my daughter, and as I did, I realized she was telling me the right thing to do. I also realized for this journey that I'm on, this is one of many, many steps, and it's actually the most important one of all. I hadn't jumped all in on SW at that point, and if I went to work for someone else, I would have never had the time to complete this wonderful journey I'm on, and that would have been a shame. It would have been a shame because no matter where I'm at in this journey, the worst thing I could do is quit. Another reason it would be a shame is that what I'm doing now is the closest thing I've done since I left them goddamn streets that has made me really happy. I sat in my vehicle at the light for a moment longer. Then I made a U-turn. Fuck going to a job that I'm going to hate. I'm dedicating myself to my passion, and that is to become a voice for common sense in the life of the fast lane. SWU, baby. I get more from spitting my shit to people that understand that they need to hear it than I would from any job. I think I really love advising young dudes and the young ladies on the things they, asked about that's important. I take note. The thing that really got to me about this was it took my daughter to show me the light. That's why I'm a firm believer. And I tell you guys this all the time. The information you need most may not come from conventional entities, but you best be prepared to hear it when it does come. This is the journey, and the journey continues. So, as long as I'm confident we're going to come out on the bright side of these politics that we're experiencing, the everything that we're experiencing. As long as you're confident, you're going to come out of it. And as long as I'm confident, I'm going to come out of it. Even through these trying times, you can see a rainbow. In any country other than these motherfucking United States, a leader or a politician employing tactics that some of them Republicans employ to the dismay of democracy will have taken over and the government fucking began a fucking tyranny. I don't want to, go all off into politics, but what I'm saying is you got to understand shit is important. You as a individual in the United States need to have a goal. You can't just be a citizen anymore. You got to have a goal. It has to be something to make you free, not free as in a slave. I'm saying free to do the things you think the way you want to do them. I'm telling you, if you fuck around and understand the point that I'm trying to make, you wouldn't care who was going to be president. You just wouldn't care. You motherfuckers don't understand anything about street knowledge. And what you don't understand is really hurting you now, because street knowledge would tell you, fuck any one of them motherfuckers. Because now one of them is doing what the fuck they say they're going to do. They're all doing what they think you and I want to hear. So I thank all of you motherfuckers who voted. I don't give a fuck who you voted for. I'm just glad you voted. I thank you from the bottom of my goddamn heart. I never wanted or had so much on an election in my life. But in reality, I got the same thing I've been having for every election. Nothing. Ain't nothing gonna change for me. This, power grab from both parties is nothing more than, street fights with rules. They're underhanded to each other. They're underhanded about what they're saying and doing. And they don't give a fuck that we don't know. So why do you give a fuck so much? I just really would like to know that. I also would like to know how come nobody find this interesting enough to talk about. Why you haven't called in and voiced your opinion. If you're potentially a powerful person, there are a couple of things that you got to do to empower yourself. And the number one thing to do is learn who you really are deep inside. Have something to say about what you think. Stop letting people tell you shit. My confidence course can help you do that goddamn shit. And after learning who you are, because that's the first thing you must do, is learn who the fuck you are. The second thing you need to do is develop a set of principles that you can't violate under any circumstances. I'm telling you, brothers, if you do this, you're going to have a lot of success. That's why you don't have success, or you're not having as much success as you should, because you have no discipline. Then and only then will you be in a position to see where your power is and how to use it best once you discipline yourself. A lot of you don't know this about me, but I'm quite sentimental sometimes. I heard years ago, when two people are married for a long time, 60, 70 years, they are so attracted to one another that if one of them die, the other one will soon follow. Now, I watched Bush's funeral, and I swear I couldn't help but, feel sad. Maybe it had a little to do with what he did, but it was mostly because Barbara Bush had recently passed, and within a short while, so did he. To me, that was love, and I fully respect that about Bush 41. And whatever Christmas party it was when they met, it was real and lasted till both of them was old and ready to go. That's how shit should be for you and me. That's how shit should be for everyone. But you know what I think about sometimes? Since I've met a few of these young motherfuckers I like, and a couple of others that I believe will carry the torch, I think about what I'll be thinking 20 years from now. If I do get to live that long, and I do have all my facilities, I really would like to see how some of you motherfuckers turn out. I by no means have listed the young P's who have serious game, even in today's climate. So don't get insulted that that I left names out. I'm acknowledging all of you motherfuckers that's putting it down as close to proper as you can. It's a narrow path, but if you keep your eyes on the crown, you're not gonna slip. You just not gonna slip. It's abba dabba time. And most of us who have reasons to be sad will have a compounded circumstance to deal with. Shit. It was some movie. It was some movie on, and it got me to in about 6 minutes, and I immediately turned. I can't stand them goddamn sensitive fucking movies. But they come on around the holidays more than other times, and I just, god damn, they fucked me up. I just am lucky. I don't blame you for thinking I'm sick because I can talk about me all day. When a person like me gets insulted, I go off. No one physically did anything to me, but my integrity means the most in the world to me, and I will not be insulted. Hey, you guys, uh, I'm trying this early morning videos, and I mean, I kind of like them, but what I don't like is that you motherfuckers are very quiet. You don't call in, you don't have nothing to say. I'm not mad at you for not having nothing to say. I just think it's really shallow of you to not have nothing to say. I think you should have something to say because everything matters. It should matter to you. Not necessarily what I think should matter to you, but that I think should matter to you. All right, you guys, be cool. I'm gone.